Every major health guideline recommends dietary fiber, yet suddenly eating a large amount of it often wreaks sudden, painful havoc on the body. This happens because your gut microbiome acts as an internal metabolic workforce. In a world of ultra-processed foods, our baseline consumption of natural plant structures has plummeted, leaving this workforce undernourished, unconditioned, and significantly reduced in size. Digesting complex plant matter is a heavy, physical task for this internal ecosystem. It requires specialized bacterial populations to break down the tough, non-digestible structures found in whole plants. When you transition from a processed diet to a high-fiber regimen overnight, you create an impossible workload. You are dropping a massive volume of complex carbohydrates onto a workforce that currently lacks the capacity to process it. This means most people don't have a biological intolerance to fiber. They have a fiber speed problem, attempting to lift a heavy dietary load without any prior conditioning. Understanding the mechanics of gut distress reveals exactly why the body reacts so violently to a sudden influx of fiber. The first mechanic is disorganized breakdown. Because the bacterial populations are too small and unconditioned to handle the wave of carbohydrates, the fermentation process in the colon becomes chaotic and disorganized. This disorganized activity creates a sudden surplus of gases like carbon dioxide and methane. The gas buildup stretches the intestinal walls, triggering the nervous system to signal intense bloating and abdominal discomfort. The second mechanic is osmotic draw. Certain soluble fiber molecules act as magnets, pulling water from your body's tissues directly into the bowel cavity. This sudden increase in gas and liquid forces the colon to contract rapidly to expel the mixture. This accelerates your transit time, leading to the localized distress of cramps or watery stools. These symptoms are not a rejection of the food itself, but the functional consequence of exceeding your gut's current metabolic processing limits. However, the gut is a dynamic ecosystem. When provided with a manageable, progressive workload, these bacterial populations have a documented ability to expand and adapt. The gut adapts through a cooperative process called cross-feeding. Specialized primary bacteria break down large plant polymers into smaller pieces, sharing these pre-digested nutrients with neighboring bacterial species to complete the task. This ecological cooperation ensures that fiber is processed through a stable, organized assembly line. This rhythmic breakdown prevents the rapid gas release that causes distress. Through progressive training, your gut shifts from an unconditioned population into a highly specialized team of specialists, capable of turning fiber into a source of daily cellular energy. Building this capacity safely requires a structured, multi-week protocol that treats the gut like an athlete in training. Phase 1 focuses on a modest baseline stimulus, introducing 5 grams of soluble fiber found in oats or bananas, slowly nourishes and expands the specialized bacterial populations that initiate the breakdown process. Phase 2 introduces structural training. Gradually adding insoluble fiber from whole grains and wheat bran acts as a natural bulking agent, training the colon's muscles and stabilizing your gastrointestinal transit time. To support the mechanical side of this training, moderate physical movement is essential. Activities like brisk walking increase blood flow to the digestive organs and naturally stimulate the muscular contractions needed to keep these bulkier loads moving through the system. Combining gradual dietary loads with consistent physical movement allows the microbiome to build the resilience needed to process a high-fiber intake comfortably. This conditioning massively increases short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, the primary fuel for colonic cells. They physically tighten and seal the intestinal wall, acting as a reinforced barrier. This prevents harmful toxins from leaking into the bloodstream and triggering chronic inflammation. This dampens systemic inflammation across the body, which clinical trials link to marked improvements in sleep quality, improved skin health, and long-term cardiovascular wellness. Fiber distress is not a permanent life sentence. It is a temporary lack of conditioning. If you scale the input properly, your microbiome will develop the strength to maintain your metabolic health for decades.